Relationship advice. My parents choose their new families over me, so I moved in with my aunt. Now they want back in. But I hate them. So I, 16 female, moved in with my aunt at 15, because my parents remarried and had new families. My father married his mistress who already had a son, and now they have a baby daughter. My mom remarried my stepdad, and they had my half-sister. After all that, I became a secondary character in their lives and they looked forward to ship me off to the other home, so they could pretend that I didn't exist and play happy family. After a year, I became fed up and started sleeping over more and more at other houses, and when at their homes I would never interact with anyone. Both my parents took that as a rebellious phase and would fight with me all the time. I wasn't a bad kid or a troublemaker, but soon, I was labeled as the black sheep of the family. Every interaction with my parents became a lecture about my attitude problem, and how well the other kids behaved. I was just so fed up that I packed my things and disappeared for a few days. I took a bus and went MIA for 4 days. Of course the police was called, and when I appeared again, I got hit another lecture. We got in a screaming match where they called me a disappointment, and I told them I hated them. I called my aunt crying and she came to fetch me. In the car, I could hear how she was tearing my parents a new one. Neither of them tried to convince me of coming back home. We informed the respective authorities about my changed living condition, and my aunt is my current guardian. My parents were half-baked with our contacts, appearing only when it was convenient, sometimes giving me money, etc. Recently, they tried to build more contact up, but I was not interested. I won a story writing contest and didn't tell them, nor did I invite them to the celebration. And on the website where you can read my story, the thanks go to my aunt for loving me unconditionally. I didn't invite my parents to my sweet 16 party. Basically, I have cut them out of my life. I am not interested in their lives or families, or anything. Mom tried to meet up for my birthday, but we didn't. She got upset and called me crying and I just didn't care. It was like listening to a TV character cry. It wasn't important. She isn't important to me anymore. Dad called me, and said he was worried about me, and how my reaction is not healthy, and again I didn't care. As far as I am concerned, my aunt is my only parent. She encourages that I build up my relationship to my parents again, but doesn't force me. Anyway, yesterday my parents pulled me out of school and invited me to eat at our old favorite place. Mom had tears in her eyes and even Dad seemed hurt. They tried apologizing for their behavior and pleaded with me to come back, and I just said no and left. I still resent them for choosing a new life over me. But I don't know if I am being a petty a-hole or what to do now. I don't want them in my life, but would I be making the right choice? I don't know. Edit, because people think I just made it up, and I am a moody teen. You know when you are at a friend's house where their parents don't particularly like you, and you feel tense all the time, and you feel like you shouldn't be there? That was the feeling I constantly had at their houses. I know that my stepfather doesn't like me that much. My parents would both fight about who keeps me longer. But not in the sense, I want to have her longer, but, I took her last weekend. It's your turn. Also, planning fun activities for the day after I leave. My father and his wife would often schedule visits to the parks or bigger trips, specifically to the weeks my mother had me, and my mother and her husband would leave me alone at home, so they could go out with the baby. Every chance they got, they would ship me to grandma's or my aunt's place with some excuse, and then do family stuff. Also, when you went through the houses, there were barely any pictures of me. They had big portraits of my siblings and them together, but almost none of mine. They shipped me off to my grandma's and grandpa's for a whole summer and only called twice. When there are family functions, I am often excluded. Like my dad had a family barbecue and didn't invite me. They forgot my birthday on more than one occasion, and when they remembered, they got me a $10 Starbucks gift card, even when they know I don't like Starbucks. So no, they never straight up said it, but they didn't hide it either. Now for the top advice. Your aunt is the real MVP. In terms of forgiving your parents, it's a decision wholly to yourself with your aunt's advice. Trust her advice more than the decisions of strangers on the internet, who do not know the intricacies of this situation. You are 16, trials like these are a part of developing into adulthood. I'm sorry you have to go through an extreme version of this. Have a gold on me for being one of the only rational responses to this post. My compliments to your aunt. She is the best, honestly. Yeah, your aunt sounds great. Sorry your parents are horrible. Sometimes adults are nothing more than teenagers in adult clothing. whining about their wants. You can have your parents in your life as your aunt would suggest, but in the end, it's still up to you. Tell your parents they've put too much hurt into your relationship with them, and that it will take much more effort and time to heal and build back that healthy parent-child relationship. Of course, it's still up to you to build that bridge back up, as you can't build a relationship if one party is not willing. Hope everything goes fine, and show your appreciation to your aunt. And congrats on the writing contest. Your parents made their bed, now they need to lay on it. When people remarry and have kids with other partners, their previous kids don't suddenly stop being their kids. To add on, if you don't want to have a relationship with them, just don't. There's no right or wrong on that one. You felt betrayed and basically a burden. If you do want a relationship with them later on, that's all up to you. Don't feel pressured. Next story. I, 21, found out my whole family was going on a vacation when I was told to look after the family pet. My siblings have yet to move out from our childhood home and I've been off to uni. I am so empty and it feels so goddamn horrible. I've been trying to act like I didn't care, but when they were driving to the airport I couldn't stop crying. My mother was so hurt and they kept saying they loved me. Last time we went to a family vacation was when I was around 13. I cried so much I had cramps in my abdomen. I wrote them a message trying to make them understand what I was feeling, and that it hurt me a lot. I got back that I was ruining the vacation and to just accept it. They said they thought I wanted to be free. I know it might have been an a-hole move to mention this at the first day of their vacation, but the pictures they sent being all happy, made all my emotions I've tried to hide come through. I've never felt this left out, and I feel like I'm not a family member. I'm trapped in this house taking care of an animal when they are out being a family on holiday. I feel heartbroken. My plan right now is to leave the pet with a relative and go back to uni, and dive into school to forget. How can I forgive them? Has this happened to anyone else? Edit, I would have paid for myself. This is not about getting a free vacation, this is about them going away on a family vacation without inviting me. They brought with them my 19-year-old brother who even complained that he'd rather play games at home. They are all there. The whole family. They brought my brother so that it would be a family trip. I would not have batted an eye if only my sister went. Now for the top advice. Did they tell you about the vacation before asking if you can watch the pet or after? After. Have you asked them why you weren't included in the vacation? They thought I had other stuff to do. They also said they really thought I would be so happy being all alone in the house with my significant other. I don't understand why they thought that because we lived together at uni. When I found out about it they had already booked the tickets and hotel, so I had no chance of even rearranging my summer planning, not that I had anything planned those dates anyway. We have a relative that want to care for the pet and could have all these dates. My plan right now is to leave the pet with a relative and go back to uni and dive into school to forget. Good plan. And if other family are around, it makes it a real WTF that Op's family didn't do that in the first place. Sorry Op. My family did similar things when I was your age. I think it came from my mom's deep resentment about my being out of the house and independent. Let me ask, do your parents ever make nasty comments about how you're selfish for going off to college? Do they ever claim that you don't care about them, and then you have to scramble to prove that you're not a bad child for having an independent adult life? When I was a little younger than you, my grandmother, who I was very close to, fell and was hospitalized. They didn't even tell me she was in the hospital and never apologized for keeping me out of the loop because it was my fault for leaving the family by going off to school. My parents have very skewed priorities, and my mom in particular tried to make me dependent on her and shamed me if I seemed too independent in her eyes. Hopefully this doesn't ring a bell for you. But if it does, then they might have excluded you from the vacation as a way of manipulating you into feeling like you're an outsider to the family. If they can succeed in that, then they can make you feel like you need to grovel and beg to be included again. Edit, I am really grateful for everyone who commented and gave me a nuanced perspective. I've come to the conclusion that my emotions are valid and that I need to communicate this to my family peacefully. I'm also really sorry that so many other people have gone through similar situations, and I send all the hugs in the world to you. The feeling of being left out is so freaking awful. Edit 2. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking, and given the number of people who commented that being an adult means that you are not invited to family trips, I believe this is where the miscommunication might have happened. My mother probably did not consider to ask me, because she had the opinion that adult children have their own families, and that I wouldn't be hurt if they didn't ask me. For anyone who reads this and of children, please do not do this. Going off to college does not mean that we suddenly don't need you. Being away from family is hard and I missed mine a lot. Being invited to a family vacation is an excellent opportunity to spend much needed time together. Please include everyone. You don't lose a family when you gain another. Now for the last story. Update: I'm constantly being reminded that my brother is better than me. Original post. Everyone constantly says that my brother, 28 male, is better than me, 20 male. Parents, cousins, aunts and uncles, teachers, and even my own friends. It's been like that since I was 5, and it's not getting better. My brother never said anything like that, for which I love him so much, but every time I see him, the only thing I see is something I'll never be. And he hasn't even done anything impressive yet. He still lives with our parents. But yeah, because of that, I have zero confidence in me, and I feel like I'll never achieve anything, and I'm not even trying because subconsciously, I know I'll fail. Imagine every day being reminded that someone is better than you and that you'll never be better than them. Every day for 15 years. Most of them say it jokingly, so every time, I try to tell them that I'm not comfortable with it by not laughing, or just look at them the wrong way. The only two people that I know who never said stuff like that are my cousin and my brother. My father even said that sometimes he feels like he loves that cousin more than he loves me and my brother. In front of me. But after he realized how messed up that was, he corrected himself by saying, not more, but close to it. But yeah, I mentally suffer because of that every day, and I have no one to share it with, and I can't just move out and start a new life. I don't know what to do. Now for the top advice before reading the update. My mother is especially horrible about this with me, 32 female, and my older brother, and always has been my entire life. She often comments to people that, daughter is smart, sure, but she has to work hard. Son is naturally brilliant, doesn't have to make an effort. This was last said at my son's birthday party to his friend's mother, who will never even know my brother. So you know, just to take a stab at me. We were at family gathering once and a friend commented on how I had grown into a beautiful woman, and my mother's response was, if you think she's pretty, wait till you see my son. He's beautiful. I relate to this post very much, and I know therapy is thrown around on this sub a lot, but I would be lying if I didn't say therapy helped me overcome so much pain from this type of parenting. I highly recommend it, and I am sending you a hug. I know how painful this can be. You should play the same card when describing parenting roles to other people in front of her. Oh, you think she was a good parent? You should have met my dad. Now that's a role model. Are you no longer living with your parents? Ghost everybody, man. Go cold turkey. You can make it in life. You just need to work hard and go through the pain of growth. There will be times that you feel like you are hopeless and you want to give up. My advice is, do not give up on yourself. Once you reach that point of like everything seems to be crashing down, power through it. Tough it up and overcome those obstacles. You will be a much stronger person after going through those tough times. Mental strength is the best strength a person can have. It gives you stability and increase your awareness and makes you think more rationally. Right now, you are going through a very tough time mentally and emotionally. Power through it, my friend. Concentrate on your own growth and happiness. Read lots of books in your field of interest. Go for long walks or runs. Even better, go biking. Be alone with your thoughts. Meditate. Always psych yourself up. If you are interested, I can message you a link to a YouTube channel I watch that motivates me as a man. I don't know if I can do all these things. I'm in college, so I don't know how I'll survive without their help. And now for the update. First off, thank you everyone. I really needed that motivation to take control. And I'm sorry I didn't reply to everyone, just a lot of things happened. It happened this morning before my dad and brother went to work. My dad said, loosely translated, your brother already got a job, when are you going to get one? And I'm basically occupied with college because I'm mostly studying, and I got annoyed when he said that. And with the confidence you guys gave me, I told him that I'm not comfortable with how everyone is treating me. He said that he was just joking, and that I'm apparently still too young and he can't take me seriously. I basically said screw you, I'm leaving, and went to pack my stuff. He came after me and started pulling me, saying that I'm not going anywhere. I pushed him, and told him that he doesn't get to decide anymore, and he told me if I leave this house, I'm never welcomed again. I continued packing my stuff and he started getting physical and pushing me, so I pushed him back. He made a fist like he's going to punch me, but my brother stopped him, and basically dragged him to the other room, where I could hear them screaming at each other. I packed my stuff and went to a friend because I didn't know where to go. My friend skipped work, so he can be with me in case something happened, still hasn't, and that I can stay with him as much as I have to. That all happened in the span of 3 hours and I'm still shaken. I'll probably get a restraining order, because if he pushes me again, I'll probably hit him. My mom is blowing my phone all day, but I'm not picking up, and I think I'm done with this family. I just hope nothing serious happens. Update 2, I talked with my brother to meet up somewhere so he can give me some documents I needed, and we met. We talked for a bit, but he basically told me that my parents don't want to see me again, and I was okay with it. He told me if I needed something from him to call him, but I don't think I will. I will be staying with my friend until the virus is over and I can find a place. He said he will hook me up for a month or two, until I get my first paycheck, and after that, I'll have to pay. I already found a job, it's not the best and it doesn't pay much, but I can't be choosy right now. I guess my adult life begins. Now for the closing comments. At least you got a supportive brother with you on this new journey. Work hard and be super successful to the point where your entire family regrets putting you down. That's the best revenge. Would love a final update in the near future. Living well is the best revenge. Good luck out there. Call your brother. He wants your success and will help raise you up. Stay in contact with your brother, he didn't do anything wrong. Screw your parents though. You will regret it in the future if you abandon your brother. I promise you. It's not the brother's fault that the parents have deemed him the golden child. Not only that, but he's actively helping OP, and seems to be completely supportive. Hold on to him. I cut and ran when I was 17, with nothing and a baby, to escape the hell of my family. You're going to be alright, man. Edit. I saw that everyone is saying that I should keep in touch with my brother. First off, I'm never leaving my brother. He's my brother and I love him so much. He's one of the people who always supported me no matter what I did, and he is the most important person in my life as of now. When I said that I wasn't going to call him, I meant that I wasn't going to call him if I needed his help. I decided to do things alone and in my own way, but I'll always keep in touch with him no matter what. I also saw that some people say I overreacted. My father literally made a fist and was about to swing, but my brother stopped him. If he wasn't there, things would have been way worse and I needed to leave that place. And I didn't mind getting a job when he said that. I've actually been looking for a good job that I can fit in my schedule, but because of the virus I have not been able to. My father knew that and he was just making fun of it. But thank you everyone. The supportive comments and the critical comments. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.